I had tried a lot of other things before actually meeting with you. So I had tried some traditional therapy. I had tried some different energy work. Throughout my career, I had different professional coaching as well. And so nothing had, like, really nothing had really worked or changed things very significantly. And so, like, I'm not joking when I say it was like really kind of this last ditch attempt. And I was like, okay, I'll try the, Googling and see what I find for kind of a personal coach,
Hmm.
personal and professional coach. And so when I found you, or when your name came up on that Google search, like literally, I remember thinking very specifically, like, this is it. Like, this is my last go. I'll try this and see if there's anything different, or see if anything changes. And like 7 years later, here we are still working together.
I'm so excited to showcase one of my favorite clients, Kristina. And this is a little bit about her story of how she utilizes and has utilized NLP to navigate successfully and thrive through a divorce, being a single parent of two, moving across the country to give her children the best possible chance of a wholesome upbringing, and where her family is thriving now. She's an executive at a very successful company, and she even started her own business. Her story is very inspiring, and you might really be able to relate to her. So let's jump in and meet Kristina. Thanks for meeting with me today, Kristina. Like, you've gone through a lot of different transformations since the time I've known you, and I just wanted to really share that and kind of get into that a little bit and hear from you of kind of where you were, where you are now, and where you're heading. And you're just one of my favorite people to work with, and I really want other people to hear your story a little bit. So, can you kind of get right into it? Can you tell me a little bit more about where you were before we met, before we started working together, kind of like what you were struggling with?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this week actually, and it's really interesting because I had just left a job actually that I was not like very happy with, and I remember like before we started working together, um, I remember this moment where I was sitting like in my kitchen, and I was just like at this point where I just knew my life could be like so much better than what it was at that moment, because I was married and I had two really young kids. So my kids were under the age of 5 at the time. And I had been working in this job that I just wasn't very happy with either. And so I just remember sitting in my kitchen and thinking like, "Oh my gosh, my life could be so much better than what it is in that moment." And like within a 6-month time frame, I ended up leaving my job, and I just was like, okay, I think I need some kind of coach. And so this was like really for me at this point in my life kind of this last ditch attempt to see like
Mm,
how I could change things in my life. And so you were the first person that kind of came up in my Google search. And so um, yeah, I was just like at this point where I knew I wasn't happy with kind of my relationships and with my career and just personally, like with myself. So that's kind of where I was
yeah,
at and what led me to doing that Google search.
that's great. And what were you searching for, and why were you searching for it?
I just had this sense that things could be like so much better than what they were. And I just knew that they could be I just knew that they could be better than what they were, and so that's why I was searching for it. And I was just like at the time I was just so unhappy, and I was having a lot of like anxiety and panic attacks, and that was really kind of a growing thing in my life too, where I had started experiencing it, I would say in my 20s, and it just
Mm,
continued to like get worse and worse, to the point where I was having these anxiety and panic attacks where, like going into from a career perspective, I would meet with executives a lot of the time. And prior to meeting with the executives, I would be like throwing up in the bathroom. Like
mm,
it was very intense. And so I knew there was something that was just completely off. I knew that could be different than what it was, but I really didn't know how to work through that or how to solve that at the time.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I remember back then where you were too, and of course how far you came, and what caused you to choose? Excuse me. What caused you to choose to team up with me and my style of NLP? to help you like really to get what you want most out of life? Like what makes this different?
I had tried a lot of other things before actually meeting with you. So I had tried some traditional therapy. I had tried some different energy work. Um, I had tried just throughout my career, I had different professional coaching as well. And so nothing had, like, really nothing had really worked or changed things very significantly. And so, like, I'm not joking when I say it was like really kind of this last ditch attempt. And I was like, okay, I'll try the, Googling and see what I find for kind of a personal coach,
Hmm.
personal and professional coach. And so when I found you, or when your name came up on that Google search, like literally, I remember thinking very specifically, like, this is it. Like, this is my last go. I'll try this and see if there's anything different, or see if anything changes. And like 7 years later, here we are still working together.
That's great. And you did try a lot of other things before, you said in the past. And what caused you to stick with this or stick with working with me? What was the difference that made the difference for you?
I just feel like it's worked. I just feel like my life has changed so much, and we've gotten to kind of the root cause of different things in my life. I've had to make some really like difficult changes in my life, from getting a divorce to moving states to changing jobs, now to starting a business as well. But like everything has just sort of progressed along the way. Like, it's created space for me to get healthier, physically, mentally, spiritually. So it's worked. I don't know how else to say it other than it worked, and it continues to work.
That's amazing. No, that's great. That's well said. Can you just tell me a little bit more about some of the biggest challenges and obstacles that you've overcame since working together?
I would say one of the biggest ones has been around that anxiety and panic. At least early on, that was just really all consuming, where, like, in a situation, I couldn't create any separation from that. And I would say now I'm to the point where I can still get a little bit nervous, but I feel like there's more separation from that. And there's just been layers and layers and layers of things that have been healed and connected along the way. So that's been huge. Just even now, I think I had mentioned recently too, where within the last like month or two, as I still meet with executives in the company that I work for now, I just have like the best meetings with them, and it's such a different experience. And the rapport that I have with them and the connection that I have with them is just, great. Especially when we're states apart and I can do it remotely. It's pretty amazing how I can still create that connection and credibility and trust with them. And comparing to where I was like when we started working together, it's just like leagues and leagues, different.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's great. Appreciate you sharing that. And what are the most important or valuable resources that you've received because of working together?
Um, I mean, really, a lot of the NLP work, um, I would say, has been a huge, like, very impactful. And it's interesting to me because, like, I don't always know that I'm doing some of the things that I've learned through classes or through coaching sessions. It just has become like something that I've learned and then practiced. And then over time, it just becomes sort of innate. And I'm not totally consciously aware that I'm even doing it anymore all the time. But
But
it's
you're aware
anything.
that the results are changing.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. And so I would just say, that has to do with then, any relationships that I have or am building. Certainly with my kids, I can see how my kids are evolving in a different way than I certainly did when I was their age. So that's like really cool, just in terms of, asking them questions, or understanding um, how they learn, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's all been part of kind of NLP specifically, just how people learn and then how to communicate with them if they learn a certain way. And so just seeing them grow and evolve has been really just amazing as well as a mom. Um, let's see what else. Um, yeah, I think just communication, and communication is of course something that I'm continuing to work on. But that
Me too.
is that is definitely something that has been has just sort of evolved over time as well, especially through the NLP work, how I communicate and who I communicate with, and making sure that we're kind of on the same track, I guess.
Yeah, that's super important. And this is kind of an interesting question is who, like, where do you feel like you would be right now in your life if we hadn't met?
I just feel like I would probably be stuck back, where I was before we met, and I don't know that I would have had any forward movement from there. Um, I had just, tried what I knew, how to try or what to do. And I had gotten to this point where that wasn't working for me anymore. And I couldn't move beyond that without like help, I think, from you and NLP and intra awareness.
That's great. And like you've been through a lot of different changes and there's career changes, discovering your life's purpose, your mission in life, divorce, kind of spiritual awakening, dissolving the ego, becoming a better mom, finding your voice, speaking your truth. And there's a lot of different things. So what message would you say? Either I can frame it in a couple different ways, but if I were to frame in this way of it's kind of one and the same, you and your past self, or you and somebody watching this who really is looking for a different way or a way out, a way to break through to get results, or somebody who's looking to become the best possible version of themselves. Like, what message would you say to them being on the other side where you're at now, um, that might be able to help them?
I would say just keep finding a way. Just keep looking for a way. And obviously, like I've had a lot of success working with you and inter awareness and taking classes, learning about NLP and really incorporating it in my life. But really just like finding a way, continuing to find a way. Like just don't give up. Just do it. Just do it. Do the work.
That's great. So don't give up if what you're doing is not working. Try something different.
Mhm.
And maybe go a little bit deeper within yourself, right? Like if
Yeah,
something's not working, what is it? Albert Einstein says, no problem can be solved by the same level of consciousness it took to create it. So, in simple terms, is if you're wherever you're at, if it's you're stuck, so to speak, go deeper. You got to go somewhere else, do something different to get different results. And if you don't give up on yourself, you can look forward to success and happiness and health and all that great stuff
absolutely.
that comes with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that you haven't mentioned yet that's important to share?
Um, not that I can think of right now. No, just that I'm like super grateful for kind of what I've learned and the opportunity to work with you. And um, no, it's just been, I'm just super grateful for who I am now, compared to where I was at previously. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to what's next, I guess.
Yeah, me too. And one of the biggest things that's next for you is like finding your joy, finding your purpose and your passion through inflatable joy. So tell us just a little bit like what is inflatable joy for someone who's never heard it? Like, what are you working on? What is your goal with it?
Yeah, Inflatable Joy is a business that is around selling inflatables. So, whether it's special event or seasonal inflatables, kind of the Santa Clauses that you can plug in your yard, or the pumpkins that you can plug in, also pool inflatables as well. So, it's really around Inflatable Joy is really around just spreading joy and fun and just spreading, kind of making memories for kids of all sizes. So, yeah, so I've just recently started this business and am working on a website. So that is soon to come as well. And in the meantime, I've got a bunch of different events where we have pop up shops, and it's just been super fun being able to spread some of that fun and joy.
That's beautiful. I just want to share this for people that might be watching. Is like years ago, we went on this walk in the neighborhood I was living at the time, and we came across this. It was kind of like a lakeside vibe of this little town that I was in, and there was this house with inflatables. They must have had like 50 to 100. I don't know how many they had. It was a lot, and it was like a themed of, as I remember, it was like Christmas on the beach, kind of a theme, and you just kind of lit up and started to just, what is it, bust in stitches or whatever they say this the terms is, but it just really kind of lit up your soul, and we started asking you about it, and it just caused you so much joy. And that's what one of the things for the business coaching side or the career coaching is, I always encourage people to follow like what lights them up the most, what they're, again, in alignment with their life's purpose. And so for you, like, to get the goal and the mission is to help spread that joy, because we need joy now more than any other time in history. And it doesn't have to be, tens of thousands of dollars. It can be very reasonable to put certain things in your yard or your business and just kind of be that beacon of light and spread like joy and love and kind of that the innocence to like inner children or children of all sizes. And so if anybody's watching and you guys want, I'm going to put a link to Kristina's information. You can actually eventually check out our website very soon and connect with her, and she'll be able to, she's your neighbor. We call her around here, around these parts, we call her neighborhood fun dealer. So so just check out what she has. And I just want to thank you for meeting with me today. I just want to like thank you for being one of the people who is stepping up to fulfill your life's purpose, to answering that calling, and to take what you've learned in your transformation, not only for yourself, in your business, in your family, but just in all the relationships that go in the future. And you really are a shining example of like what is possible if a person bets on themselves, if they don't give up on themselves, if they commit to becoming a better version of today than the person yesterday, each and every day. So I just want to thank you as well for meeting, and I'm excited to see what's going to come up next for you.
Me too. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Cool. Thank you so much for watching this very inspiring video and this transformational experience from Kristina. And if you want to keep watching other videos that's going to add a lot of value and inspiration to your life, subscribe to the channel, and you can comment on the link below what was the most inspiring part for you. If you are looking for your own bundle of joy that you can spread in the front lawn of your house, or brighten your boss's day by putting a giant snowman in your cubicle, so you can check out the link below and Kristina will hook you up. If you are looking for your own NLP coaching or training, you can also check the other link below and get started on your path to growth, fulfillment of your life's purpose, and really truly becoming the person you are meant to be. Now is the time. Take the chance, take the leap, bet on yourself, and win the game of life. Thank you for watching so much. I will see you in the next video.